My name is Marjorie Decker. I'm currently a Cambridge City Councilor, and I've been on the City Council for 13 years. I'm now a candidate for state representative for the 25th Middlesex District. It's Cambridge. It's an incredible city with people who just come from all over the world, all walks of life. There's so many various identities, and it's an incredibly diverse community. And it's a wonderful community to live in and to raise families in and grow old in. So that's all I can tell you. I'm running for state representative because I really know that it matters who's in government. People in government make choices every day about what our communities look like, who lives in our communities, what kind of jobs are available in our communities, what kind of wages people are able to make, the kind of education our families have access to or don't have access to. Government affects almost every part of shaping what our communities can be and sometimes what they're not. So I'm running for state representative because I want to continue to make sure that Cambridge is a community that is diverse, that is inclusive, that it thrives because of the community that we build with each other, and that residents in my community continue to have the tools and the support and the resources they need in order to live the fullest of their lives. My top priority will be looking at the issue of how do we create new jobs. There's just too many people. I don't think there's any one of us that doesn't know someone who's been out of work. So it's looking at how do we support emerging job markets, how do we create new job industries, and also how do we expand tax revenue. I also will then be looking at the issue of healthcare. That's an ongoing conversation nationally, but also still at the state level. How do we manage the cost of healthcare? And for me, just as importantly, how do we ensure that everyone has access to good preventative healthcare, regardless of what they can pay? I also then will continue supporting and working on issues around public education. For me, the priority in that would be really to join the champions at the State House around early childhood education to work to ensure that children, no matter who is caring for them, that their providers have the tools that they need to ensure that they will be successful later in life. You know, there's a lot of really great people who could run for elected office. I feel really privileged to be somebody who's been able to serve my community as an elected official for 13 years. I have a public record of not only voting in ways that my community wants me to, but I have a public record of working to bring together and learning to identify who the stakeholders are, who the allies are, how to build coalitions, so that in fact we not only get the votes that we want, which is not always a guarantee, but that as a community we also are more invested in how our government functions and the decisions that we make. I think having that experience over the last 13 years and having a public record for people to really judge me on makes me one of the strongest candidates in this race. Just thank you. Thank you for supporting me for all of these years and allowing me to work for you and on your behalf as a city councilor in Cambridge. And I'm really honored and privileged at the opportunity that I can continue representing our community and working for our community at the State House, and knowing that so many of the issues that we care about in Cambridge are going to be issues that also benefit families and people around the state of Massachusetts. And I will now contribute to those voices and those voices that affect people around the state. So thank you for this opportunity, and it'll be a privilege to continue doing this work if you should elect me in September.